Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Danny with my boy Coach Rob once again. This is Saturdays with Coach Rob.
What's
We're
up,
doing it
guys?
again. We in
What's
the
up, man?
building.
We here.
We
We
here,
here
baby.
again.
Once again on another Saturday. We're live in full effect. First of
Live.
all, before we get into this, you know the progressions. You look in the bottom of your screen. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe.
Support my man.
Support us, man. Also support my boy.
We
MOW
here.
Boxing. He got his gear on, looking fresh, flying, flashy out here. You know what I
We
mean?
here. You know what I'm saying? Spencer. And
Also, sign up.
you can tell that we were born in the the either the late to early 80s or
Yes.
early 90s. You know what I mean? You can
Yeah,
tell.
definitely.
We still say stuff like fronting. We don't say cap.
We don't say cap. Well, I've recently been trying to get into the cap, but
Yeah.
but also get to the Facebook.com Danny's Dimensions podcast. Support your local
We call
business.
hashtag pound signs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the hashtags of pound sign. Oh, here it goes. It's time for Khan and Chael. Hey,
Hey, yo, like
I'm
my,
on the rights
I'm
to this
off mute
music.
on camera, yo.
I don't own the rights to this music.
Yeah,
You know
we
what I'm
don't own the
saying?
rights.
I just had to play this song because we got a extravaganza, a UK extravaganza, as you
Yes,
see in the
sir.
background. Amir King Khan versus Kel Special K Brook today. Actually, it's going to be in a couple of minutes.
Like while we're on here, yeah.
While we're on here at 1 p.m., the undercard's going to be starting, so we'll have time for the main event. But Khan and Kel, man, what you got to say about Khan and Kel? Man, this promotion, man, has been very hilarious
Yeah, it
from
has.
the time of the from the beginning. I mean, this is something that's been dated back like what 10 years,
Well, like
2012,
probably like 15 years now, I
probably
think.
more than that. But I
Yeah.
remember the first interview that was on Sky Sports with
Mm-hmm.
Kel and Amir Khan, and Kel was talking about how he was going to stop Khan. Khan's been,
Mm-hmm.
talking about how he's going to wash Kel, and they was talking about
Mm-hmm.
the whole the sparring.
Mm-hmm.
What happened in the sparring session between them when they were amateurs? And there's
Mm-hmm.
been a lot of allegations within the course of those 10 years. Brook has gone on with his career, became a welterweight champion. Khan
Mm-hmm.
has also done his thing, became a
Mm-hmm.
star. HBO beat guys like Mike Donna and polymyelinology and different things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
he was unified at 140.
Yep.
And while Kel beat Sean Porter to become
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
IBF 147-pound champion. So uh, and Keller's always think that Khan has denied him from greatness during all
Mm-hmm.
that time.
He
So
wouldn't fight him.
yeah, he would not fight him. But here we are, Kell Brook
It's
and Amir
happening.
Khan. We're here now. They both have fought Terrence Crawford. Speaking of Terrence Crawford, he's the common denominator in this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Partially,
not
yeah.
working.
Yeah.
They both got knocked out by Terrence
Yep.
Crawford. Kell Brook, 2020. That was his last fight. Khan's before his last fight when he fought Billy Dibb, he
Mm-hmm.
fought Terrence Crawford on a pay per view, which I don't know why that was on pay per view to begin with, but that's another story for another matter with the whole top
Yes.
rank situation. You know what I mean? So yeah, touch into this, man. Let's talk about it, man. Kellen Khan, man.
Yeah, man. Now this is if you're a real boxing purist, man, or a real boxing head, and this is a fight you've wanted to see for a long time, especially if you follow like British boxing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean this like a 15-year joint, man. Like they've been beefing since like the amateurs.
Yeah.
And apparently, like, in the amateur sector, like Khan told his story. Brook told his story as well about like how the sparring went. Khan was like, I washed him. Brook was like, nah, I wouldn't even like that. He's like, the first round he got me was all right, but they only sparred 3 rounds. So these guys know each other. They're very close. Of course, they're selling a fight right now, but I do believe that there is true bad blood. There is true animosity between these two. But their careers basically was like Amir Khan was the golden child. I mean, Amir Khan won gold in the Junior Olympics. He won gold in the European. I forget what it's called, the European Games, and he won gold in the in
Olympics.
the national. No, he won silver.
No, he was silver in the Olympics. That's right.
He won silver in the 2004 Athens Games.
Yep.
Sure did. But Kel, of course, he was jealous about that. So Kel, instead of going to the Olympics, he ended up just going pro, and so he had a whole lot of tomato cans that padded his record and stuff. Before Khan even really came into the pro ranking. So I think if you really understand what the issue is between Khan and Brook, it really more so is that Brook doesn't feel like Khan has given him the respect of offering him a fight earlier, because he believed that if he beat Khan, then he would be the golden goose of British boxing as far as the welterweight division and those lower divisions goes. So Khan never gave him that fight because he always felt like Brook was a level below him, when in actuality, in stardom and everything else, it's the truth. Right? It really is the truth in stardom and star power and his whole entire portfolio. His whole entire portfolio is like, why do I need to come down to fight Kell Brook? Exactly. But now we're at a good place, right? They both have suffered some losses. They both have been champions before. Kell being the IBF champion, Khan being the WBA champion at welterweight and unified at 140. Fought some good people like Danny Garcia, fought Zab Judah.
Yep.
Fought who else did he fight? Fought Marcos Maidana, as you mentioned.
Yep. That was a war.
Fought Lamont Peterson.
Yep. That was a war too.
He's fought some really good people. So he has a good and I think we said on a couple of shows ago, a couple of guys actually said that he was one of the hardest fights they had. So his speed is definitely a factor, but we all know, if we know anything about Amir Khan, his speed is great, but man, if you touch that chin, it might be over. So that's what makes this an exciting fight, because both of them now have suffered injuries.
Yeah.
Well, Khan hasn't suffered injuries. It's just his Achilles heel is his chin.
Right.
But Brook has suffered injuries. I mean, he has 2 broken orbital bones, one from Spence, one from Triple G, and on both sides of his face. So I think that does play a part in this. I think if Khan lands well, I mean, Khan, like I said, Khan's not really known for power, but he does have pop. I mean, you don't drop certain people without having any pop. So he does have a little bit of power. I know that one of the sparring partners in Terrence Crawford's camp was talking about him. He's like, he's the fastest person I've ever been in the ring with. Kel said the same thing. He's the fastest person I've ever been in the ring with, and he is very fast.
Very fast.
Doesn't have much pop, but with speed, there is sometimes power that just generates. So honestly, man, I think it's a great fight. I'm excited. I wish it would have happened 10 years ago, but hey, at least we're getting it today. I think whatever the outcome is today, I don't think it would have been much different 10 years ago. I just think that whatever happens today, like I said, this really is a hard fight for me to pick, right? Like usually I can have an idea of who I think will win, but this really is a hard fight for me to pick because I can really see it going either way. Another cool thing, about these two guys is they have, it's almost like if you follow their story, it's very interesting, very, very interesting. They just happen to be, in similar circles. And I think Kell Brook came out of what's his name's gym, Ingle Gym, which is pretty well known in Sheffield.
Yep.
And then Khan came to America, so Khan has been with people like Freddie Roach. He's been with Virgil Hunter.
Yep.
Now he's with Bomac and Terrence Crawford in this fight. So I think it's very interesting that he decided to go that route because it's like, hey, you beat me and you beat the guy I'm fighting. So let me go see if you guys can teach me something. So I've been listening to some of those interviews, and Bud's been saying he's been looking pretty good in camp or whatever. I think him and Bud had a little bit of sparring, not much, not to anything that got too crazy, but they had a little bit of sparring together. So we'll see, man. We'll see how this comes out. I think this is like I said, this is a great Saturday fight, man. I'm excited.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And I'm excited for the UK fans out here, and I'm excited for boxing fans all around because this fight is really, it's sold out within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's sold out within 10 minutes. So,
yeah,
you see Billy Joe Saunders working with Kell Brook too. But Tell me about the significance of Bomac being the trainer of Amir Khan.
Well, I think Bomac makes a difference. The only thing is that Bomac didn't face Dominic Ingle when they fought Kell-Brook.
That's
So
right.
Kell-Brook didn't have Ingle in his corner when they fought.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I know Bomac got real upset at the press conference yesterday because he was trying to tell him that, oh, he was just trying to collect money, but he didn't really think that Khan could do whatever with Brook. And Bomac went off on him and said a whole lot of stuff. So I
He
think
did.
I think Bomac, man, is he's definitely an X factor. I think the problem with Khan, man, and it's been this way for years, is Khan doesn't have I'm not gonna say he doesn't have discipline because he's disciplined in some areas, but he doesn't maintain that discipline. Like he begins to rely on speed, and so sometimes when he relies on speed, he begins to get a little bit a little bit undisciplined in there and a little bit, flaily in there and just like
Definitely.
leaving his chin in the air and
Yep. We talked about
bringing
that.
his hands down, stuff like that. So it's like those kind of things, man. Hopefully Bomac and Bud are able to kind of hone in on and really let him see, like, hey man, you just got to be patient, use your speed when it's necessary, but don't let that be your only option, because you let that be your only option, with somebody like Kell-Brook is not a powerful guy, but he can hurt you. If he hits you, he can hurt you. He can hurt you. I mean, the Spence fight, he was doing well with Spence in the first 5 or 6 rounds. And some of the shots he was catching Spence with, I wouldn't be shocked if they put Khan on his back.
Yeah, he's catching him with some good shots.
Yeah, so I think with Bomac being in there, hopefully they went back to fundamentals. Hopefully they went back to, hey man, keep your hands up, bring your punches back to your chin, all that kind of stuff, and guard the body and all those kind of things. Just the fundamental stuff, man. Just moving, doing things right, utilizing your capabilities at the right time, and being smart in there. Because that's like I said, that's one thing that I noticed with Khan is that he'll get excited. And sometimes when he gets excited, man, he just starts throwing. And when he starts throwing and they're real fast, yeah. But some guys have good timing, and Kell-Brook is one of those guys. He has pretty decent timing.
Oh yeah.
So if he catches him coming in, it could be a short night. So I hope, hopefully those are the things that Bomac focused on him with from a high level.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not to get into too much detail, but hopefully they focus on those things.
Yeah. I think the dimensions of Khan, like you were saying, just touching on what you're saying, just piggybacking on what you were saying, he does have tremendous speed. But we got to think about how he looked against Terrence Crawford. Like in 2019, Crawford was beating him to the punch. It seemed like Khan's speed has diminished to a certain extent, and that was in 2019.
Now I won't say it's diminished. I just think that Bud is a different kind of character. Like
that is true.
Bud makes you, because I mean, you just saw him in camp. I mean, he got the speed. I mean, that's this
camp.
This camp. Yeah, the speed is always going to be there with Khan. I think the speed will always be there. I think the problem is that when he throws, he doesn't always pay attention. He just lets his hands go. And so he's not even thinking about where I'm going to put this. So somebody like Bud, he nullifies that by catching you probably on the first and the third. You feel what I'm saying? Like he'll hit you first, let you throw back second, and then catch you on the third. So he was getting countered. So that's why he looked a little slower against Bud, I would say. But I don't think that I don't think his speed is as depleted at all. I mean, obviously it's probably not as fast as he was, like, say, at a 140, because I mean that's less weight. But I don't think he's depleted. I don't think. We'll see though, I guess.
Yeah, well, time will tell, because the only reason why I say that is because sometimes people look very fast in the gym, and you can only tell that during the time of the fight, because of it's different in the gym, and fight time is really different. Your reflexes, that's when you really find out that your reflexes may not be the same as it once was. And I'd be a fool to say Khan's reflexes is the same now as it was when he was 24, 25 years old.
Oh, no,
Kell-Brook as well. Kell-Brook as well.
Yeah, they're in their 30s.
They're what, 35, 36?
Something like that.
35. So, I'd be a fool to say that the reflexes are the same, but I still think that Khan definitely looks sharp in training. Kell-Brook as well. Kell-Brook looks very sharp in training as well. And, the weight, that's another factor. Like, tell me about the 140, 149. They waited at 149. Do you think that Kell was weight drained, or do you think that this is the same Kell-Brook that we're normally seeing? Because you
Well,
know, his cheeks kind of look a little sunken.
sunken in. He doesn't look as dry as I've seen him look. Like him
Yeah,
coming down to 147 is actually tough. I think they did this for Kel because Kel was actually beginning the campaign at 154.
yeah,
So Khan came up to 154. And remember, we talked about that last time when he fought Canelo, and he looked terrible. I
actually,
thought, but he looked,
that was two weight class. That was 160
yeah,
when
yeah,
he
yeah,
fought
yeah,
Canelo.
160.
That was pfft.
But he
You
only
never fought
came
at
in.
60
But he
in
only
your whole
came right.
career.
But he only came in at like I think he could only get up to like 150
56.
something. Was it
Yeah, for like
156?
56, 57.
Yeah. So and he looked terrible. So I don't. So
Bad.
them going, yeah, he didn't look good at all. And he looks trim and cut here. He looks pretty good actually.
Right.
Him and Brooke both look good.
They both
Brooke
look.
always looks good though. Brooke always comes in,
Yeah. Brook
pretty
is
in
in shape.
shape. Yeah, he always comes
Brook
in
is
pretty in
definitely in
shape.
shape.
Khan sometimes, he'll come in shape one camp, and the next camp he'll come in out of shape.
Right.
But yeah, no, I think that's primarily for Brooke, because like I said, Brooke is fighting or he was campaigning at 154, so coming down to 149, I think is good for him. Like I said, I mean they both look like they're ready to go.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think that it shouldn't be too much of a factor at this point. I don't think it should be, but we'll have to see. Only time will tell. I don't think it should be too much of an issue though.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
I will have to agree with that.
yeah.
Kel, like I said, he looks great. Khan looks great. They both look great. It all depends on the actual tools that they bring into the ring.
Yeah.
That is the determining factor of who wins this fight.
Mm-hmm.
Bomac can't fight for Khan. Neither can
Mm-mm.
Terrence Crawford. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it helps to have that brain, that boxing brain, that pound for pound brain that Terrence Crawford has,
Mm-hmm.
and he can offer some type of advice that Khan may have never seen before,
Mm-hmm.
or he may never use before in his career. So, Kell-Brook going back with Engel is a good
Mm-hmm.
move for Kel.
Yeah.
I think he should have had him for Terrence Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, both guys have been inactive for a while,
Mm-hmm.
so it's pretty even in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
To touch on what you said about 10 years ago or whenever, it would have been the same fight. I would have to agree with you to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and 10 years ago in 2012, Khan was at his best.
He was.
I think not too long before that, it was around the time he had lost controversially to Peterson in DC.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Peterson got caught with those, I think it was some banned substance, but he was allowed to keep his belt. I
Mm-hmm.
think he was stripped from one of his belts and was allowed to keep the other. But
Mm-hmm.
Khan was at the pinnacle of his
He
career
was.
at the time.
He was.
Kell-Brook was not even a world champion at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He became a world champion in 2013. So
Mm-hmm.
at 2012, the Khan-Brook fight to me didn't really make that much sense.
No.
Because Kell was still establishing himself.
Mm-hmm.
He had not fought. He had fought a lot of domestic fights over there in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
He hadn't really tested himself against any top fighters out there until he fought Sean Porter. Then when he fought Sean Porter, then I was thinking, okay, maybe
Mm-hmm.
he can fight Keith Thurman, or he can fight Khan or whatever. I think Khan was still at 40 at that. Was it 2014? Khan was on a little more of a downside to his career too, because then he lost to Danny Garcia. He got knocked out by Garcia.
Well, he had fought. Wait, what year was this?
13.
13. Isn't that when he came? When did he fight Paulie? Because Paulie was his first 47 fight. What year did he fight Paulie?
Paulie was 40. He fought Paulie at 40.
No, Paulie was his first
won
47
WBA.
fight.
He won the WBA title when he fought Paulie. It was junior welter. I remember it was on HBO. I think it was one of his first fights on HBO, because it was after the Prescott debacle, and he fought.
That worked out well.
That was crazy. He came out
that
there
was
and got
terrible,
destroyed.
man. But that was like when they first they actually saw the first glimpses of that in a domestic fight he had against some, I can't remember the guy's name, and they were like, whoa, but he got hit by some dude that's not really, he had no pop. And so that's when they first were like, okay, maybe we'll have to see if this is going to be his Achilles heel. And it is. Let me see, because I thought his first 47 fight was Paulie, but I could be wrong.
His first 47 fight. I know he fought Louis Collazo at 47 as
He
well.
did. Yep, he sure did.
Yeah, so that was the time he was trying to get into a fight with Floyd Mayweather.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. He fought actually that was on a Mayweather undercard. I think Mayweather Maidana, if I'm not mistaken.
Who was?
Khan when he fought Collazo. That was on a Mayweather Maidana undercard, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, when Khan, I'm looking it up right now myself.
Yeah, because I thought that Converse Malignaggi.
And he got dropped by Julio Diaz. I mean, he's been
Yeah, he
dropped.
got. I mean, Khan's been dropped by quite a
Man,
few
he's
people,
been
bro.
dropped by.
Yeah, Khan's been dropped by quite a few people.
He's been dropped by a lot of people. So let me see. I'm looking at it. Zab Judah. Yeah, light welterweight. Because
That's when he fought Paulie.
Yeah, he fought Malignaggi in 2010 at the Theater of the Garden, and he was light welterweight. Then he fought Maidana. Then he fought Paul McCloskey.
Who was his first fight at welterweight?
At welterweight, that's a good question.
That's what I was trying to figure out because
that was after the Danny Garcia. So he fought Carlos Molina. He got dropped in that fight. That's when he went to Virgil Hunter.
Virgil Hunter, yeah.
He got dropped in the Molina fight. He got dropped in the Diaz fight. These are domestic level fighters that you get dropped by.
He gets dropped quite often.
I think he also got dropped by Samuel Vargas.
No, he didn't get dropped by Vargas, did he?
No, he didn't get dropped by Vargas.
No, he beat Vargas up pretty well, I thought.
He beat Vargas. It was a unanimous. Yeah. No, he won that fight. All those fights he won pretty convincingly. Mm-hmm. But the fact that he got dropped. He also fought Chris Algieri, Devin Alexander. He did very well against
Devin Alexander. He was with Freddie Roach when he fought Alexander, wasn't he?
Yep, sure was. And he fought Collazo. Yep, that was on the. I think that was on the Mayweather. That was on Mayweather undercard. Yep, It was Marcos Maidana. So I was right. It was Marcos Maidana versus Floyd that he was on. That he was fighting on the undercard. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he.
Like I said, Khan actually has a good resume.
Oh yeah, being
much. I mean, which is like I said, which is why I think that he pretty much didn't feel like the Brook fight mattered. But it's smart timing on all their parts, right? Like they're fighting now because Brook has had some losses. Khan, really, where else can Khan go at this point? He fought Billy Dib last, won TKO in the 4th round. Now it's like, all right, where do I go now? Because who is Billy Dib, right? So where do I go? Do I stay? He's at 147. He's definitely not a threat. Everybody that's anybody beats Khan at 147. So really, I feel like anybody that's, at this point, this is the best fight for both of them. Brook, he just got his last fight, got knocked out by Bud. That means he's been to that level, saw that he couldn't maintain. He beat Porter, but he's been to that level, got beat by Spence. So the guys that matter, he's not going to beat them. And they're not going to give him rematches because there's no point. So it's like, all right, what's the next best fight for me right now that's going to give me almost like a last hurrah and actually bring me back to be relevant again?
Exactly.
This is the biggest fight for that.
Biggest fight for both of those guys. Yeah. Biggest fight for each one of these guys. Because, who else? What else are they? Who else are they going to fight?
Yeah, who else are they fighting? They've already been up against. Right. Both of them. It seems like they were mirroring each other's career. Both of them went up and fought bigger guys. Khan went up to fight Canelo, and Brook went up to fight Triple G. Well, actually, the other order.
Brook went to Triple G first.
Yeah, but it's just like, where else do they go? They've been up. They've seen they can't compete there. They've been at 147. They've seen they can't compete with the top tier here. 154. Brook can probably stay and fight, some low tier guys, but both of these guys are competitive. They're not going to want to stay.
Yeah, my thing is, does Kell Brook right now at 54 beat Julian Williams? Does he beat Jason Rosario? Does he beat those other guys, those top contenders at 54? You have to say,
I don't think so.
I don't know. Even Julian, like Julian, no disrespect to Julian, even Julian Williams.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Who beat Jarrett Hurd in his own hometown. And ironically, he got knocked out in his own hometown.
Yep.
Remember when we talked about
knocked out in Philly.
the people who got beaten in their hometown?
Yeah, it's tough fighting at home, man. For some people, it's tough.
So speaking of that, who do you think has the advantage in terms of whose home is it more so, Khan or Brook?
Well, where are they fighting? They're fighting in Manchester, right?
Yeah.
Well, Brook is Sheffield. I think Khan
Yeah,
probably has to pull
I
here.
would have to say so.
Yeah,
Uh,
probably just because of what he, like I said, Khan really was like the goal. He had like endorsement deals and
oh yeah,
commercials and all of that stuff back in the day when he was fighting in the Olympics. So I think it would probably be Khan,
yeah, and I think,
in
do
my
you think
opinion.
there's a jealousy in Kell-Brook, so to speak?
Absolutely, yeah,
Um,
I can
I
see
saw
that.
it.
Yeah,
I
I
think
can
so
see
too.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, because he feel like Connor's been getting all the press and the
Hmm.
publicity, and he even said it during the press conferences that you never gave me the credit that I deserve. You act
Hmm.
like I didn't even exist for all this
Hmm.
time. So it's
Yeah.
like now now you guys are both basically on the same level, so you have an opportunity to prove
Hmm.
everything that you said you was going to prove. Khan says he's not going to retire regardless of this outcome. I doubt that very seriously.
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea for him to retire,
Yeah, if
especially if
you
he
get knocked
loses.
out
Well,
cold by Kell-Brook in the first 2 rounds,
yeah,
you might want to hang up your gloves.
yeah.
It might
If
be,
he loses bad here, which like I said, uh,
yeah, you
I'm
really don't
not
know,
betting
man.
on this fight. I'm not betting. I mean, I don't bet on any fight, but I'm definitely not even considering a pick in this fight.
I can't.
It really
It's
is
hard.
50, it really is 50-50 for me on this one. But I think it would be a good idea for him to, if he wins, retire. You have nothing else to prove. This isn't a title fight, but you've won titles already. So what else do you have to gain? Make a lot of money because this fight's going to make good money. People are going to come see this
Oh
fight.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
going to make
It's
a
big
lot of
for the
money.
UK. It's
Yeah,
one
they're
of the
going to make a lot
biggest
of money.
fights. Yeah, biggest fights that can be made right now for the UK
Exactly.
in
They're going
terms
to make
of
a lot of money.
revenue and everything, man. This is
If I
huge.
were Khan, I mean, I understand it too though because it's like you may still have that itch to do it. I get that, but he's been
Don't
to
get
the
a false
top.
sense of reality though.
Right,
Don't do that.
exactly. He's right, especially with a chin like his. Like he's been to
Man,
the top. He's been to the top of 147. Only person he hasn't faced Spence. But I mean, now you got these young dogs like Ennis and what's his name or Cheese.
he can't mess with Ennis.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You don't want to get embarrassed by I'm not even gonna call these guys journeymen anymore because they're ranked, but
Yeah,
by
they're right.
prospects, right? So who
Right.
else you gonna fight? You gonna fight domestic fights? I mean, if you just want to stay active, that's cool. But you know, I don't think that it's a good idea to continue. But we'll see how he looks at this fight because, like I said, when you still have some left, it's hard to just turn it away. It is
When
hard.
you
So I
think
do
you have
understand
something
that.
left, like I said, it may be a false sense of reality. If he goes out there and destroys Kell-Brook, he may have a false sense of reality, thinking that he has something left. But
Hmm.
Kell-Brook ain't, what I'm saying,
Yeah, Kell-Brook ain't the top
Terrence
tier.
Crawford or any of these guys, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Now, he once was at that
yeah.
point that you could say that probably in 14, 15, probably even up to 2020 when he was still one of the
Hmm.
top welterweights in the division.
Yeah, like I
But
said, I mean, I don't sleep on Brook. He's not a slouch, man.
not at
Because
all. And his
if
speed is underrated as well. We
yeah,
talk
if
a lot
he,
about Khan and his speed. Kell Brook's a very, very good technically sound fighter.
hmm
He throws that 1-2, that basic
yeah,
1-2. He was
yeah,
catching Sean Porter with 1-2 all night long.
he's
Every time.
actually a much more disciplined fighter than the gym he comes out of.
Absolutely.
Now, not to knock the Ingle gym, but I mean the boxers that come out of there, like Prince Nassim, is
Prince
probably the best known.
Nassim.
He's probably the best known that came out of that gym, and
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't technically sound at all, but
Prince
he
Nassim
could.
wasn't. No, no,
Yeah,
he
but
wasn't.
the way they teach their style is a lot of footwork, a lot of movement, and a lot of flashiness. But they actually teach keeping the hands down a lot of times.
Right.
So ironically, it's funny that Kel actually seems to be opposite of that. He really does keep his hands up.
Yeah, he keeps his hands up.
He looks like your more standard boxer, right? As opposed to being real flashy and movie and stuff like that. He looks like he knows to do the right things. He catch you with the one, catch you with the one, catch you with the one, set you up for something, set you
Yeah,
up
he
for
has a good
something.
jab. Very
That's
good
what I'm
jab.
saying. Catch you
And
with
good
the jab,
timing.
catch you. Yeah, yeah. So he's actually more fundamentally sound than what people give him credit for. Um, but like I said, the biggest X factor here for both of them is how is he going to deal with Khan's speed, and how is Khan going to deal with his power if he catches him. So that's what makes it such a hard pick because I can see Kel getting overwhelmed and just getting pop shotted all night just because Khan's longer and taller and just keeping him at bay with the jab. I can see that happening.
It could.
You know what I
Very
mean?
much
Just keeping
so.
him at bay with the jab, catching him with an overhand here and there. I can see that happen. But then on the other hand, I can literally see Brook breaking through and just clutching Khan, you know what I mean? Or catching Khan coming in doing something stupid. I can see both. I can see both. So I don't know, man.
It's
I don't
this
know.
is probably one of the toughest fights
Yeah, I don't know.
that I ever on fight day that I'm thinking about that I have a hard time
Yeah,
even trying to wrap
it's
my
tough.
finger
Because I
around.
mean, here's the thing, man. Khan, like I said, Khan doesn't have significant power, but Brooks' face is not significantly put back together. So it's like, you know, so, so
That's a way of putting it. That's a way
yeah,
of saying
so
it.
it's like, you don't know how much pressure I think that that can take. Like on each side of that. Though I don't know, man. I don't know. This like I said, this is tough.
Yeah,
This is tough. I'm
Brooke
excited.
says he's the Terminator.
Oh, all
That's
right.
what he's that's what he says. They
Yeah,
put
tell
him
him he
at
should tell that to Bud.
right, or tell that to Errol Spence or Triple D. How much of
Right,
a
right, right.
Terminator you
Yeah.
are. Yeah,
Well, he said he's Terminated because he has metal in his face.
yeah,
So he got
basically.
that. He got that from them. So that's why I said
Oh
ask
yeah,
Bud.
right. Tell that to
Yeah,
Bud. You're right. Tell that to Bud.
yeah. Ask Bud if you're the Terminator because you had that.
Man, there's been so many backstories to this thing, man. It's just so funny. Like
Mhm.
the gay comments and concept.
Yeah,
God said,
yeah,
God said Kell Brook
yeah.
was
They
gay. And then in the
yeah.
press conference, I remember Kell Brook said something that we shared a room with.
Yeah, he
He
was like,
said,
"That sounded. Don't say that. That's
he
not
said,
what
bro, you ain't
happened.
share no room with me.
That's not what happened. That's not. I'm almost positive they did though. They were on the same team.
Right. If you're on the same
They were on
team,
the England team. I'm sure they
right,
shared a
that
room at
happens.
one point
So
together. Yeah,
then
he
the
tried to.
so-called racist, did you hear about the
Yeah,
so-called racist,
yeah,
the Papadon Chin?
yeah, yeah. I never even knew what that
I
was.
never even knew that was a racist word.
Didn't-
Papadon Chin. What?
yeah. So
Like
I apparently what is it? It's like it's something like
it's
something
like a
Middle
slur.
Eastern.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Middle
like
Eastern slurring, I guess. I
yeah.
guess.
I never had heard of that one before.
Me either. Me
Yeah,
either. When
so,
he said that, I was like, okay.
yeah,
Okay. Well, I've
yeah.
never heard of it. Hey, I think they're using every little thing that they can do to try to get time, an
Yeah,
advantage or an edge on each other or something like, oh, you call me racist or you call me gay, you call me
right,
this, you call me
right,
that. Like
right,
they're trying to use
right.
every little thing
And
to.
Khan is trying to, yeah, exactly. He's trying to get in his head the best way he can at this
Oh
point.
man, I
Yeah,
think when they did the gloves are off with Johnny Nelson,
that was funny.
mind you, yeah, that was very funny. And
Mhm,
mind you, Johnny Nelson to me seems like a Kell Brook fanboy. I was looking at
mhm.
some YouTube videos of Johnny Nelson with Kell Brook as a 17-year-old.
Oh, they came
He
out of the
was
same gym.
training with Kell Brook.
Yeah, they came out of
At
the
the
same gym.
time, Johnny Nelson was the WBO cruiserweight champion of
Cruiserweight.
the world. Yeah. So he was
Hmm.
in Ingles gym
Hmm.
training with a very young Kell Brook. And he's got the speed, he's got the timing, he's got
Hmm.
this,
Hmm.
he's better than anybody young 17. If I was 17 years old, I wouldn't face Kell Brook. I was
Right,
like,
right, right, right. Yeah.
yeah, so that was
Yeah, no, they came out of the same gym. Engel trained both of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he has a type of fondness to Kell Brook that
Hmm. Yeah.
so do you have a prediction?
I
No
can't get
prediction.
one. I can't get
Can't do
one.
it.
I can't
I
give
try to
one.
put your feet to the fire, but I guess
I know
so.
I can't give one because like honestly, bro, if Khan had a chin, I would pick Khan hands down. If I knew that
That's the
Khan could,
thing.
if I knew that Khan could take a punch, I'd pick him
The
because
way, yeah,
I don't see, like I said, I don't see Kel dealing with and here's the thing. People look at it like the Olympics don't matter or
yeah.
I mean
That
and
experience dates back all the
it
way back
does,
to the
and he's
amateurs.
always been like a tier above. And like, if his stories are true from even their sparring sessions and stuff, Khan's always been like one tier above, bro.
Right.
Right. But there's always that X factor. And I believe that Brook has the timing to catch him. I
Sure
believe he
does.
has the timing to catch him. And so that's why I can't pick because I'm like, if Khan can stay disciplined, I believe Khan could probably even put him down. I believe he could put him down.
He could.
But if he can stay disciplined for 12 rounds and not get caught with something stupid, then I'll pick Khan. But I can't put the house on it. I
Yeah,
can't make a real
I
prediction.
mean, you can't really put the house on Khan in any fight, to be honest with
Nah,
you.
because he doesn't have a foundation.
Because there's always that danger that you have to be. Your heart is always in your throat. If you're a
Yeah.
Khan fan, wondering if he's going to get hit with a big shot and be how he responds, his punch resistance.
Exactly.
I remember was it Sean Porter said on his podcast, he was saying something about I didn't think Kel Brook's punch resistance was that great against Terrence Crawford. It's almost like he got hit and he looked for a way out. What do you think about that?
I asked Sean what he was looking for when he got hit by Bud. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, of course, if you got caught clean, of course you're looking for a way out. You're trying to figure
Right.
out how am I
Yeah.
going to recover from this?
Right.
Yeah, so I think that's I don't know. I mean, I think that's kind of a like a off comment to make, especially if the guy you're talking about is also the person that took your belt. So he might just still be jealous. But
I think he is.
yeah,
I think he is.
yeah. So I don't know. It's like, what do you expect him to do? He got caught clean. I mean, it was a nice jab that Terrence caught him with. Plus, like I said, it was on
Hard jab. It was actually, and he switches from southpaw. That was a hard jab, so it probably caught him like it was a straight right hand.
Exactly.
You know what I
It
mean?
caught him right on that eye, right where one of his
Right on that eye.
injuries are. Yeah,
Right on that eye.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I
Man.
think. Yeah, I
So,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't. Some of the stuff like. Sean's a good analyst, but some stuff Sean says is just like, what are you talking about,
Off
bro?
the wall, bro.
Yeah, what are you
Like,
talking
what are you talking about?
about? Right. Yeah. So.
Oh man. So I'm getting some in other news. I'm hearing that Castaño was supposed to fight Jamel Charlo. The fight has been postponed because Brian Castaño is injured.
Bicep injury or something like that. I'm so
Yeah, he's been
disappointed.
he has a bicep injury. Honestly, who do you think wins that fight between Castaño? Now he gave Erislandy Lara a tough fight, and most people thought that Castaño beat Lara.
That was an awesome fight. That was an awesome fight between him and Jamel. That was an awesome fight, bro. Like I'll rewatch that fight sometimes. But if he does, man, because here's the thing that I noticed about Jamel. Jamel doesn't do well with pressure.
No,
if you get in his grill, he doesn't know how. And actually, Maul either. Neither one of them really know how to fight that well off the back foot. I mean, they can kind of move you around, do things like that. But if you're giving them pressure and you're putting them on the ropes, it seems like, well, I know he's with Derek James, but it seems like he's taught them how to fight long, but they don't really have a solid inside game.
Yep.
Neither one of them do. And I mean, Ronnie Shields hasn't taught that to Maul either. So neither one of them have like a real solid inside game or know how to, pop from the inside. So I think if Castaño did what he did the first fight and wins those early rounds, because he lost. I mean, a couple of early rounds he wasn't looking too good in. Yeah. He wins those early rounds. I could see him pulling an upset, bro. Like I actually like him a lot. I like Mel too, but I've now seen Mel and seen him in some situations, and him and Maul, both of them, like the last couple of fights, they kind of skated by. Like it wasn't like a domination like we would expect to see, that we're trying to put people in there with Canelo and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I need to see you dominating your opponents. If we're talking about we're about to throw you in there with Canelo, and right. I didn't see that in either one of them, in Mel or Maul. Now here's an interesting topic. Terrence Crawford is talking about coming up to 154 and facing the winner of Castaño and Charlo.
I would like to see that.
I'd watch it. If he can't get the Spence fight, I mean, shoot, get you undisputed somewhere else.
Yeah, Josh Taylor doesn't want. I've heard he doesn't want nothing to do with Terrence Crawford. He said F Crawford.
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah. Shout out to FightHype.com, who the source.
Why did he say that though? I mean, what was his reason? I didn't listen to that.
I didn't look too much into it. I think he doesn't feel that he needs Terrence Crawford at this point in his career. He's also a pound for pound fighter.
He's undisputed.
But, he's undisputed at 40. So, he doesn't feel like he needs it. So, speaking of Charlo, Jamal Charlo with his felony assault charge. What does that do for him? I mean, he's been talking and running off out the mouth and saying different types of things. I remember when Danny Jacobs pulled up on him. We'll talk about Danny Jacobs too.
Yeah.
Danny Jacobs pulled up on him, and his energy really
Mm-hmm.
changed.
Mm-hmm.
Danny came in there and was like, "Oh, just the man I wanted to see."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He said, you touching something, but you ain't touching M's."
Right. I remember that. I
He
remember
said,
that.
"I'm touching M's, bruh."
Yeah, I remember that.
He
I
said,
remember
"How
that.
you know what I'm touching?" He's like, "I know what you touching, bruh. I
Right.
know what you touching."
Yeah, you still in 6.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I remember that. I think what was I about to say? So for Charlo and the assault charges, they're still in negotiations on the Canelo fight thing, right? That's not done. That's not completely done. I think
yeah. I'm
there's
hearing stuff
nothing to
about Canelo ducking, not accepting it or something like that.
no, no,
What
no,
was
no,
that
no.
about?
So
It was a
Canelo,
Charlo and Benavidez 2-fight deal, and I think Canelo like confirmed I haven't ducked or said anything
no,
about
I haven't. He said it's still in
anything.
negotiations. It's Bivol and Triple G.
B-ball and Triple
Yeah,
G.
Bivol and
So
Triple G.
that's official, right?
Not official yet, no.
Okay.
But that's where they're thinking they're leaning to. And so Maul getting this, you know, charge in between that, it kind of puts him out of the running if he has to deal with legal cases and stuff during the time of camp, because they're probably going to do an investigation or whatever. And so it kind of puts him out of the running. But that's not guaranteed yet. So neither one of those are guaranteed. But Canelo has $100 million deal for Bivol and Triple G. I think Triple G in like I think Bivol in May and Triple G in September.
Right.
I think that's what they were looking at. But Charlo actually his name was being spoken like that could happen.
Right.
Now with Benavidez, it was Benavidez and Boo Boo. They're supposed to be talking. Now that would be I would like to see that fight. I think that would be a good fight. Demetrius Andrade and Benavidez, David Benavidez. I think that'd be a good step up fight. Good step up fight for Andrade, and also a good gauge because personally, man, I don't like to say boxers are afraid or they don't want to fight somebody or whatever, but I sincerely feel like, there's something there with Canelo and Boo Boo, and it's not just because, oh, you're a horrible fighter, you're horrible. I don't think that's what it is. I don't think that's what it is. I think there's something there as for why he doesn't want to fight that man, and
Yeah.
Benavidez the same way. So I think it'd be a good fight for those two, Benavidez and Andrade, to have a match, see how that goes, and then maybe the winner of that fight's Canelo. But at
Yeah, I
this
think
point,
Andrade, man, he's really being shafted in all of this because
oh
I
yeah,
really
oh
think that he can. I mean, I remember that fight with Jamal and Ronnie
yeah,
Shields was so
yeah,
called saying, about the $8 million or something
yep,
like that. He's like,
yep,
who is Andrade? He ain't nothing. Well, if he
yep,
ain't nothing,
yep. And that's
so
the
I mean,
thing, man. It's like they're like, oh, well, he ain't nothing, he ain't nothing. Well, how you expect somebody to be something if you don't actually fight them or put them in with the people that matter? So, I mean, he's been fighting like low level guys. I think who was the last guy he just fought? What was that guy's name? The Irish dude. He knocked him out. What's the dude's name?
that who fought that
Boo Boo
Charlo?
fought. Boo Boo fought. What's the dude's name? The
Oh, I
Irish dude he
forgot his
just knocked
name.
out.
Ooh,
Yeah, I think knocked him out in like the 4th or 5th round or something like that. I can't remember.
yeah,
But yeah, that's the talk of the town right now. Is Canelo gonna fight Bivol or Triple G, or is he gonna fight Charlo? And it's not official yet, unless it just came out like today. Because I know last night it wasn't official.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, with Charlo, I mean, like I said, he's doing some crazy things out here. I
Yeah,
mean,
this this
felony
isn't.
assault. What is wrong with him, man?
What are the details on that? Because I didn't even read about it. I just saw that and I was like, man, I ain't want to read this. Like uh, you are a world-class boxer where your hands are considered deadly weapons and you're out here assaulting people.
Right.
Come on, man.
As a grown man,
As a grown man, I
like, what are you
it's like
doing?
if somebody bother your family, then use what you know. But if you
Right,
just
but
out
not
here
just
getting
going out
drunk,
to try to do something to
yeah,
somebody.
if you out here
Right.
getting drunk, man, and just hitting people, he on his Conor McGregor right now.
Right. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. But I don't know.
He got
Hopefully,
kids, man. He got a wife.
right?
Like
You got kids.
yeah,
You got a family.
that stuff is disappointing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently him and Jared Hurd got into a little scuffle too not long ago.
Yeah, I saw that. But you know,
Yeah,
the Charlos are always popping up at the mouth, and
yeah. He smacked.
hopefully he
Apparently,
can.
Jared smacked. I think he smacked Jamel.
Yeah,
So
he did. He did.
yeah,
So, man, Cambosos. There's another fight. Cambosos versus Lomachenko.
I love that
First
fight.
of all, what happened with Cambosos Haney? Haney said, "See, we had talked about that with Johnny
Mm-hmm.
about why wouldn't he go to Australia." And one day later, after I saw that, I saw an interview where Haney said, "We agreed to everything. We agreed to go to Australia. We agreed to his terms. We agreed to everything. So why isn't Cambosos Haney happening?"
I don't
Now
know.
we have to understand what's going on with that. I understand why Loma is picked because Loma's the bigger name
Mm-hmm.
and has the bigger revenue,
And he's mandatory now too.
and he's mandatory.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we can't. It sucks for Devin Haney, but
yeah,
why do you think that Devin Haney is not getting these big fights
bro.
that he's supposed to be getting?
I don't know, man. I think there's blame on both sides. Like I said, I sometimes get frustrated with Bill, his dad, because I'm like, dog, I don't know how you're running this man's career, but
Right.
it's like it seems like there's always some kind of. I mean, I know we said we were saying the word fronting. There's always some kind of cap with him. Like you find it out over time. Like they were lying about the Tank fight. They were lying about Tank sparring. I mean, he just capping. Like they were capping on the Gary Russell stuff. Like sent him a contract that didn't make sense. And it's like now I understand Gary Russell's too. You know, sometimes he can be a little bit, whatever. But I believed him in this aspect because what does the Bible even say? A tree by its fruit.
Tree by its fruit.
And it's like they're always constantly is some issue with them making the fights that matter. And like I said, I don't completely blame it on them, and maybe the other side too, but there's always some kind of hang up. And I'm like, what's really going on?
What's
You know
really
what I mean?
going
Like, what's really going on? So I don't know, man. I haven't even looked into it too much because it's kind of like the boy that cried wolf for me now, man. Whenever I see something with Devin Haney and Bill Haney coming up on like on my YouTube search or whatever, because I'm like, I ain't want to watch this now because I already know they're probably lying about something. And it's because they've done it so many times. Now, and the crazy thing about it is, man, I actually love Haney as a fighter, man. Like Haney,
on? I do.
I love his style. I think he needs more power, but I love his
Yeah.
style. He's so smart in there, man. Like he's
Smooth boxer.
smooth, very smooth. Like I said, he needs more power, but other than that, man, I love his style, and I love to see him get these fights. So it's like I don't think that this is just Kambosos though, and the same way I don't think that it was just Gary Russell. Like and the same way I don't, you know what I mean? I don't think it was like or it's Tank as the reason why we're not getting to it. No, man. Like I think there's something else going on. It may be a promotional issue. It may be
Promoters, man.
maybe a managerial issue, whatever. I don't know, man. But it just seems like every potential fight that he could get, where it's as simple as let's go to Australia, strap up and fight this man, he's not getting.
You lollygag.
Lomachenko steps in, he
Yep.
gets
You
to fight, no
lollygag.
problem. I think it also is money too, because Loma was like, "I'll take whatever amount of money you give me,"
Yeah,
and
that is true.
that right there lets me see, like that's a real fighter. You know what I mean? That's a real
Yeah,
fighter.
because it's the same thing that we talked about what Floyd did with Oscar De La Hoya. He didn't care
Yeah,
about nothing. He gave him the gloves, he gave him everything, and he
yep,
said, "Hey, I'll go fight you on your terms because I
yep.
know I can beat
I'm the
you.
B side.
I'm the B side, so I'm gonna make
Yeah,
B side moves. But when I become the A side, you can't tell me nothing.
right. You got to
Absolutely
have
nothing.
confidence to know that you can beat them where it matters.
Right.
Because as soon as you beat them in the ring, none of all the A side, B side stuff goes out the window. Now you're the A side. So I think if
Yeah.
we just make it much more simple, man, like it's a fight, right? Like I understand we got to sign, we got to get the money right, all that, but make it simple. It's a fight, bro. Like we about to go out here and throw hands. You know what I mean? We got to go out here and box, and that's what the whole point of this is. I understand promotion. Everybody want to make sure they're making the right money.
Mm-hmm.
I understand it from a very in depth point. I get it,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of the day, we sign in to fight each other.
Right.
We sign in to fight each other. It's very simple. Pay me because even like Teo said, and I don't know where he's gonna go next, but shout out to him on this one because he was like he said, look, the reason why Lomachenko and Haney didn't happen was because Haney was complaining about the money. T.O. came in there, took whatever they gave him, and fought.
And
And was like, bump it.
And won.
Fought and beat him. And then his stock went up way higher than what it would have ever
even
been
more
before.
higher.
Immediately.
Yeah, he went from prospect to star overnight. He was on the front cover of Ring magazine and all that stuff.
Immediately. Right and now it's like, but now all it is like, hey, after you get to that point, now just maintain it.
Just maintain it.
That's the hard part. The hard part isn't winning. The hard part is maintaining it. Now you got to defend.
Yeah, because you got the target on your back now.
Yeah,
you're the one that everybody's gunning for. So it doesn't matter who you fight. If you fight a top tier fighter, or even you fight in somebody in the top 10 or top 15, you're going to get their best shot every time you step into the ring. So
you're the champ now. So everybody's chasing you.
Everybody's chasing.
Everybody's chasing you.
Yep, everybody's chasing.
So no, I like actually. I mean, I would love to see the Loma. I mean, the Haney and Kambosos fight. I think it'll be a good fight. Yeah. But I actually am a little bit more excited for the Loma Kambosos fight because two European styles going against each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's going to be a good technical boxing match. I mean, somebody could get hurt at some point, but you know it's going to be good technically. You know,
I think Loma doesn't fight normally he's got a little flash to him. You know, he doesn't really fight like a normal European guy. He has it seems like he's been in a lot of some American gyms or something. He's been sneaking around.
Well, the Kazakhstan style is, but they all fight like that. Like Usyk fights like that. It's dancing. That's what they had him do. They had him do dancing when he was a kid. All of them, they train the same way. So it's footwork. Their footwork is great and that's what makes them look so flashy and doing all the stuff that they do. But there's two European styles coming together because Kambosos, he was training with Manny Pacquiao. Mm-hmm. So it's really good. It's really good. Like I said, I'm excited. I'm more excited about that fight than I am about the Devin Haney one. Not that I don't want to see the Devin Haney one with Kambosos, but I think if I had to pick and choose, when I saw that come out, I was like, oh, yeah, this is where it's at. And then you got to think about that. In Australia, you know, big people are going to come see. I'm sure that what's his name? Loma probably has a pretty good base of people over there. You know that Kambosos does. It's just I just think it'll be interesting to see. I think it'll be interesting to see.
For sure.
Okay, it'll be interesting to see.
Yep. So we got two more fights to talk about that's coming up this year. Fury White.
Oh man, we talked about that already. All right,
Fury White.
Fury all day.
Fury all day.
He should pull it off. If he doesn't, then maybe I misjudged.
There's a problem, right? There's a problem.
That should be a.
But there's also some type of things about with Dillian White that
he's
Bob Arum. That's what I wanted to touch on more so than the whole fight itself. I wanted to touch on how Bob Arum's been calling Dillian White an idiot for not helping them to promote the fight. Well, you're not giving me any money and revenue for this promotion, so you're not giving me no extra money. So why should I help you?
Did he sign the contract? Because I thought they had a contract that was due.
They do have a contract signed.
It's due today.
Yeah, it is due today. That's right. Yeah. So I don't know if he signed or not.
We'll find out.
Nothing has been said about that. So it's about signing the contract. But he's trying to help him promote, or he wants you to help him promote the fight. I mean, you're a promoter. Your job is to promote. So if I'm going to do your job, what do I need you for?
I never, bro. I
don't need you.
I'm straight up. I never have understood that.
Like you want me to help you do your job.
Even when Bob would be like, oh well, with the whole Terrence Crawford thing, right? With the whole
he didn't help me promote. He didn't
help me promote. What are you talking about? That's you're supposed to be promoting me. I'm paying you for
right.
I never understood
that. I'm paying you for. That's what you pay the big bucks for.
Bro,
I had never heard anybody say, and as much as people say about corrupt things about Don King, I've never heard anybody say Don King didn't promote this. Don King. I've never heard Don King say Mike Tyson didn't help me promote this fight.
Right.
Felix Trinidad didn't help me promote
right.
this fight. Conor Mayorga or Julio Cesar Chavez or any of those top fighters that he had at that time. I never heard Mike Tyson say. I never heard Don say they didn't help me promote.
I don't understand.
What is going on with Bob, man?
I don't understand that, and he really is primarily one of the only promoters that you hear say that.
Never, I haven't heard Eddie Hearn say it either.
I've never heard him say it either, and we never hear Al Hammond say anything. So, but you know what I mean? I've never heard them say that.
Craziness.
So I don't get it.
Did you get a chance to watch the Danny Jacobs fight with John?
I still didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched the highlights, and Yeah, Danny looks old, man. Danny looks old. Yeah, he looks
He
old.
does. I will have to say
Yeah.
that, but I did see the whole fight, and I thought that he won the fight.
Yeah.
But I think it was kind of odd how he just walked out of the ring, shook his hand, and he didn't protest the decision. Now he just posted something on Instagram yesterday talking about, yeah, we know how politics goes. I didn't want to say much. I thought I won the fight. A lot of people thought he won the fight, and a lot of people did think that Danny Jacobs won the fight 8 rounds to 4, 7 rounds to 5. If you really want to be generous. But the only time he was getting caught during that fight was when he switched to southpaw. You know how it is
Yeah.
with Danny Jacobs. Every time he switches to southpaw, it seems like he does himself a disservice.
Yeah.
It was a good thing that he had Andre Rozier back in his corner. That was good because he didn't have it for his last fight, and he looked terrible. This fight, he looked a little bit better than he did last fight.
Yeah, he looked better as far as, I guess, technical stuff. But
yes,
he didn't look in great shape, is what I mean by that. He was moving a little slow. He looked old. His reaction time was slow.
and that could be due to the layoff as well and age.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
You
So
know
I mean, he looked a little older.
So he hadn't fought since 2000.
Yeah, but like I said, I can't really say but so much because I still have to watch the actual fight.
Right.
But from the highlights I saw, and DAZN, man, when DAZN puts highlights out, they pretty much show you the whole fight. So I saw a lot of it, right? But I didn't see the whole fight.
Right.
So I can't judge it. But just from what I saw, every round it looked like he was getting older. And so it was like progressively getting older while the fight was going on.
That's crazy. Watching a man age before your eyes.
Exactly. That's kind of what it felt like.
That's crazy.
But no, I think, man, I don't know where Danny goes from here. Losing a fight to a guy like
because
that,
he was on a fight by fight basis with the promotional company with Eddie Hearn.
Yeah.
In the Matchroom. So I mean, being in a situation where it's a UK area, you go into the UK and your promoter is British, and you're under a British UK promotional company. Yeah, it does put you in a position for controversy. And he fought in the UK, so you put yourself in a position, even though you were more well known, even in the UK than Ryder was. I feel like he put himself in a position that, and that was a title elimination fight. Yeah, that was it.
It was a WBC,
WBA title eliminator.
Yeah.
So I don't see John Ryder beating any fighters in the WBA.
No.
I mean, isn't if I'm not mistaken, Canelo's has WBA.
Canelo's unified. Yeah, I mean he has all of them. Yeah.
So you think John Ryder's going to face Canelo?
Nah, but knowing Canelo, that'll be his next fight, right? That's knowing Canelo. That's
It better not be. But you know what? People will make excuses for it if he does that because he's
Canelo has to give a fan. He has to fight somebody the fans want to see at this point. Like
who's out there though? Well, who's out there for him? Probably Andrade.
Well, for Canelo,
yeah, he doesn't want to fight Andrade.
He doesn't want to fight. He got a list of names though. He's got Andrade. He's got Charlo. He's got Benavidez. He could go up and fight B-Ball or better BS.
Yeah,
he could. Bro. I mean, there's plenty of names for him to fight. It's just he's
he doesn't want him.
He chooses. Yeah, he's being strategic. He chooses. So I would, bro. I'm not going to put anything on it, but I would not be shocked if I came out and saw on May 5th Canelo's fighting John Ryder. Bro, I would not be shocked.
May 5th.
I would
May 5th. Canelo Alvarez versus John Ryder live on the Zone. Come on. You heard it here first, man.
Bro,
Canelo Alvarez versus John Ryder on the Zone.
Yo, right, exactly. Exactly. But it's not pay-per-view because it's the Zone.
Get your tickets. Get your tickets
now. You know what I mean? They're selling out fast. No, they're not. This is the one. You know what I mean? Like, come on, yo.
This is the fight. The one. The main event. The best fight of the year. Come on.
Yo, I would not be shocked, bro. I would not be shocked at all.
Man.
But hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully he actually fights.
I hope not, man.
Negotiations with.
He needs to fight a legit fighter at 175 at least. You know what I'm saying?
That's what he's trying to do.
He cleaned out. Okay, I'm glad you cleaned out 68. You cleaned out 60.
Mm-hmm.
Now move on to 75. I don't know if he see. That's why I said with the whole ambitions of him going to the
I wouldn't even say he's
cruiserweight.
cleaned out 68 yet because I mean, well, I guess you could say that, yeah, because he beat the people that mattered at the time.
Yeah, he beat all the belt holders.
Yeah, he beat all the belt holders at the time. But they're like I said, you still got Benavidez there, man, and that fight needs to happen before I can give Canelo. That fight needs to happen before I can be like, all right, Canelo, you really are that dude.
I would like to see him fight Bebo or Beterbiev.
I'd love that too.
You know what I'm saying?
Love that too. I think honestly, bro, I think Beterbiev beats him, but I don't know about Bivol, but I think Beterbiev beats him. Just too big, too strong.
Mm-hmm.
That's honestly my only.
Beterbiev is a tank, man.
Yeah, too big, too strong.
And it doesn't matter if he's getting beat up or his eyes swollen or there's blood everywhere all over his face. Like, when he beat up. Oh my God,
he beat the brakes off Brown.
He beat the brakes off of Marcus Brown.
Yeah.
Marcus Brown, Marcus Brown tried, man.
Yeah,
he did what he could, but Beterbiev just, man,
he's like a
he will force you. He is the real life Terminator.
Yeah,
he will force you to submit.
Yeah,
and he beat him down to his knees. Like he
did. Bloodied him up and everything. Yeah, because
Marcus is in trouble, man. Marcus is in big trouble.
I think that's really the only. Like I said, honestly, man, I think most of the people that are calling Canelo out, I think he could beat him, but I'm not gonna bet on that until I see him do something.
Right.
Like I sincerely think he beats Charlo. Like I think that's probably the easiest one. But Benavidez, I think that the Benavidez height and Benavidez's speed might give him an issue. But he doesn't have power, and I've always known,
Benavidez does have great speed.
Yeah, I've always known this. I'm like, if you don't have power with Canelo, and he can,
you ain't doing nothing with him,
right? And he can take your speed, and then it's gonna be a short night. So
I mean, even like I said, when he fought Danny Jacobs, and Danny hit him with a clean, clean left hook.
Yeah,
he took it like it was nothing. I said, Danny's a big puncher at 60.
Yeah,
he's a big guy. And he took a clean left hook like that, and it meant nothing. He took some shots from Triple G right on the button.
Yep,
powerful puncher. Didn't do anything to him.
Yeah, that's what Khan said. That's what Khan was saying. He was like, I knew when he's like, I hit him one time, and he said he just stood there, and he said, and I knew it was a solid shot. He said, I knew I put everything I had into it, and he stood there. He's like, at that moment, I knew I was in the wrong fight. So he was like,
but you didn't know you was in the wrong fight when you signed it.
I guess not.
Going up to 160 to fight the best 160 pounder in the world, one of the best 160 pounders in the world, pound for pound fighter. And you go from 47 to 60. And you think
Canelo came in at like 187, bro. Like Canelo was a
cruiserweight.
Yeah, he was in there fighting a cruiserweight, and you struggling to make 156. like you about to get murdered, yo.
He sure did. I thought he was, man. When he got hit with the overhand right, when he got hit with that shot, I said, man, they're gonna have to get the paramedics to get Khan out.
I think it makes it look worse though when they like bend down by their knee and like try to make sure that he's okay. Like the way Canelo did it, almost like he sacrificed him. I was like, bro.
Yeah, it looked like he almost got crucified.
And he like came down. It was like a samurai like sacrificial stance he did. And I was like, you know, like you just finished hunting, right? Like you a Native American, you just finished hunting, right? And you
go right to the person you just hunted, and you just go right down to them and knee down.
Yeah,
put your knee down.
You pray over your food. That's what
praying over. He literally was praying over his food.
Yeah, that's it. That's what that joint looked like. I was like, man, this dude.
That man was praying over his food. Good Lord, man, that's tough. That's tough. Yeah. Well, finally, Shakur Stevenson, Oscar Valdez, 130-pound unification match.
That's my man's man. Shakur.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Shakur. That's my boy. He put a whooping on Jamel Herring.
Yeah, that's my man's.
I mean, that was almost like Arturo Gatti, Floyd Mayweather, like when Floyd got it. I mean, but see, you know, Herring as a southpaw, you know, he had so many dimensions as a fighter. He's a good boxer, and the way he beat up on Herring, like Herring was nothing.
Yeah,
Herring had to, and a lot of people said Shakur didn't have the killer instinct. I saw the boxing skill, man. That dude matured.
And they're friends.
Matured that night. That was a mature performance.
And they're friends, like man.
He beat. Dang, I would hate to see what he would do if they were enemies.
That's what I'm saying.
He beat that. He beat them. Woo.
Yeah, he gave him work, and I think the thing is that when we watch people like Shakur, well, not even people like Shakur, but when we watch Shakur, period, we have to understand that he's not like Shakur is very technical, man.
Yes, he
Shakur is very
is.
technical. He's waiting, he's paying attention, and now he's developing power. Like he's not even to his full potential yet.
Yeah.
So this is what puts him in a conversation of like pound for pound number one when when
He's
when some of these other guys are out of there
right.
because like the people that are holding it right now, like the Canelos and the Bud and people like that. This is what
Right.
puts him in that conversation is his composure, his patience, his ability to box, and now he's developing power. Like he's not going to have any weaknesses, and just the people that
He's
he's
gonna be a tough
surrounded by.
match.
Yeah, just
He's
the
gonna
people
be
he's
real
surrounded
tough.
by, like the Andre Wards, the Buds, Bomax, even
Boxing
Jamal Herring,
brains. Boxing
boxing
brains.
brains,
Yep.
right? And so I think this is a tall order for Valdez, but I'm so glad that it's signed because I think it needed to happen. And
Valdez, he was coming off that knockout he had against Mikhail
against
Bachuk.
Bachuk, yeah, Bachuk
Ooh.
came in there, man, like he didn't have no clue of what it means to
What was
box.
going on with Bachuk, man?
I don't know, man. I don't know because he came in with throwing throwing haymakers with his chin in the air. I was like, what is
He
happening?
did.
What
I was
is
like,
going
what you
on?
doing, bro?
I was like,
What
what
are
in the
you
world
doing?
star hip hop are we watching right now?
Yeah,
So, so
like for real.
like, what in the street beefs
What in the
are we
street
watching?
beefs? What in the
Yeah,
rap beefs are we watching right now?
right. So because he just
The
came
boy
in
is
that joint,
crazy.
yeah, that knockout, man. He set himself up real good for that one. So
Bad. Set himself
yeah,
up bad. So
and I've
yeah,
watched it, bro.
Bachuk.
I've watched that joint so many times now, and the sound, like
Oh my
the
God! It sounds like
sound,
a
I'm like,
gunshot
I
going
love that
off
sound,
almost.
huh?
Boom! I said it almost sound like a gunshot going
It
off.
did. I love that sound though.
That was crazy. So,
Yeah.
like I said, Oscar Valdez, he had a crazy knockout of Burchell. He's 30-0, 23 knockouts. Stevenson
Mm-hmm.
17-0, 9 knockouts, and those records are very misleading when you consider Stevenson not known as a puncher, but he's becoming a puncher.
Yeah,
He's definitely becoming a
he's
puncher.
developing
In
into one.
addition to his boxing skills and brain,
Mm-hmm.
having been with Andre Ward, like you said, Andre Ward, Terrence Crawford, other people, Clarissa
Mm-hmm.
Shields is one of them too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He overcame the heartbreak of the Olympics.
Yeah.
Not winning the fight that he thought he should have won, which was
Mm-hmm.
controversial. Just like Floyd Mayweather did.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't understand. Floyd Mayweather was what, bronze in '96,
Bronze. Yeah.
bronze, and
Yeah.
look what he became. Never
Yep.
lost a fight after that.
Yep.
Never again.
Yep.
So
Andre Ward's the only one that did it and then still never lost a fight. He got gold and then
yeah, he got
continued to
gold
do
in '04,
it. Yeah.
and he's the only. Like I said, he's probably the only. Yeah, he is the only Olympic medalist as in terms of gold medalists. We haven't
Mm-hmm.
had one in the men's.
Mm-hmm.
Clarissa Shields is the other.
Yeah. Exactly.
So Clarissa Shields, nobody has aside from Ward and Shields, nobody has won gold in the Olympics
Mm-hmm.
in boxing. I heard they were trying to do away with that. I hope they don't, but
Trying
I
to do it
heard
with what?
they're trying to do away with the Olympic boxing as a competition.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard some stories about that, but I don't know if
Hmm.
it's what validity there is to that. But
Right.
I hope it's not. I hope it's not true because
I mean,
you get to learn these type of fighters and see these fighters grow on the domestic on the amateur level.
yeah.
See them rise up as pros and become great. Because I've been watching Shakur since he was an Olympian,
Yeah. Yeah. No, Shakur's
and I've
nice.
watched him
Like
grow, and I've
Shakur
watched
trains out
his
here. Shakur used to train
maturation.
in Alexandria.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
I've been to
was.
the gym in there with them.
Mm-hmm.
They train around out here. So it's a yeah, man, like he's nice. He's nice.
Yeah, definitely. And
So
he's maturing. He's just coming into his own. He's a young kid, man.
yeah, yeah.
Early
He,
20s. Like
yeah,
right
he's
now.
gonna be a prop.
He's daring to be great right now
Yeah.
against the likes of an Oscar Valdez for a unification title, and I would love to see. I would love to see that. I got Shakur Stevenson beating Valdez. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if it's going to be a unanimous decision or a knockout. I have to see
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more about what goes on during the training camp process.
Yeah.
But I definitely think I definitely think Shakur. He looks like the truth to me.
Yeah. And then Valdez is also training with Eddie. So we'll have to that's an X factor. Eddie Reynoso, he's training with him.
Eddie Reynoso, who Ryan Garcia let go.
Yeah, he's a goofball. But go to Joe Goosen. Now Joe Goosen's not a bad coach, but
Joe's not bad,
he's
but
not Eddie Reynoso, bro.
Joe's not bad. Joe
He,
had Casamayor on his belt, Corrales on his
mm-hmm,
belt, Michael second to none, great fighter
mm-hmm,
on his
mm-hmm,
belt. I think Michael Nunn was undefeated. Michael
mm-hmm.
Nunn also had Angelo Dundee, so he had some great
Yeah.
trainers. Shout out to Michael Nunn.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I don't, like I said, we'll see. We'll see if it works because I mean, you got to think about all of it. It may. I mean, when Canelo came out and said the stuff he said about Garcia, that may have made him feel some kind of way, and that may have made him want to leave. Whatever, but we'll see.
yeah, we'll see. Yes, sir. That concludes our episode. I want to give a shout out to my boy Rob once again. Saturdays with Coach Rob. You
Yes,
know what I'm saying?
sir.
For coming out and doing his thing.
Love it, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Love it.
always great to have him on here, man. Every week he gives us knowledge, and great insight. Just make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to his Facebook. Come on down to his gym if you're nearby in the Fredericksburg, Virginia area. Make sure you come down to his gym, man. He's got a great boxing brain. So, without further ado, we out of here. This is another episode. This is Danny signing off. Peace.
Peace.